up, guys, and welcome back to the Jeris and Tim Sports Takes or Sports Talks. I'm gonna mess it up every week for like a month. Tim and Jeris Sports Talk. I just can't get it for some reason, but I will get it eventually. It'll come together. But of course, we got Jeris with us today. How you doing there, Jeris?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good deal. How did your Thanksgiving go? I know you said you were gonna just spend it at home and relax last week, but everything go good? You eat good?
Yeah, I ate good.
There you go.
That's how I went. And Dallas lost, so I guess it went good.
Dallas did lose. That was a fun. That was a crazy game at the end for sure. But no, I had a good Thanksgiving. It was a busy Thanksgiving as usual.
Finally got a real plate.
Yeah, you saw my plate. I didn't share it on the Discord. I probably should have shared it on the Discord, but I did text it to Jeris because he likes to make fun of my plate on Thanksgiving. But
do y'all eat Christmas dinner?
Mm-hmm. I'm actually hosting Christmas for my mom's side of the family this year.
It'll be interesting what that plate looks like.
Yeah, we don't even know what the menu is yet. We have to come up with a whole game plan for that. But I think I want ham, but we'll see how that goes. I like ham on Christmas. But hey, what up, Hawk? What up, Armin? What up, Zach Plays Games 7? How you guys doing today? The regulars stopping on by. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we're ready to hop into these topics. And first and foremost, it's a meme topic. A meme. And the meme is Rg3 coming out with a new book. I believe it's called Surviving Washington. And I have some thoughts on this. What do you think about this new book? You think there's any cool revelations over there, or you think this is kind of a ridiculousness?
Ridiculousness. Let's talk about it in the chat earlier in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about he's been sexually harassed, all this extra stuff. Like, first and foremost, if you was sexually harassed, for you to write a book on being sexually harassed, you had to have been sexually harassed 1,000,000 times. How long was he here? Like 2 years?
3, 4-ish. I think he was technically here. Yeah, 3, 4 years.
You was sexually harassed and you were cool with the owner, so you didn't think to tell the owner, and you ride in cars with him, and you just always go to his office, and you couldn't tell him. You didn't bring security with you.
Yeah.
You just want to talk about. And then I'm assuming you're sexually harassed by women. So you run a 4.3, you squat 300 plus pounds, you bench well over 200, and you're just, I'm sexually harassed by this woman. You can't okay, whatever. That's just bull crap. But I'm not. Everybody has the same reaction I got. That's that he's lying. It's nothing. He's the liar.
To me, this is a complete money grab. And he sees the team is down right now. It's been kicked, ran through the mud, just scraped. All sorts of things have gone on in the last 2 years. It's lost its name. I mean, new coach, new this, new that. Like, a quarterback can't stay healthy. Like, nothing is going right in Washington in so many ways. I shouldn't say nothing. We made the playoffs last year and on a 3-game win streak, but you get the idea. There's a lot of stuff going on here in Washington, and of course, all the sexual harassment stuff comes out and everything.
That's why I think he tried to pull this off. But his new wife, and himself said, "Oh, you can't tell nobody when to tell their story." Shut up. We know why you did it and why you picked this particular time. Bull crap.
Yeah, so I just see him going on an opportunity, and also the Trent Williams situation he wants to harp on, like, the medical staff was so terrible. It's like, you are not... What's that?
That medical staff ain't here anymore. So.
Exactly. So you're not one of the women that got sexually harassed. You're not Trent Williams, who had a cancer on his head. You're not like any of these things. You're not a victim of Washington. You were a victim of your own ego in so many ways. You walked into a locker or a meeting room with a 2-time winning Super Bowl head coach who designed the perfect offense for you. You were a rookie of the year in the offense that they designed for you. And yet you were going to go in there and tell them what plays they're allowed to call now? Because you're the best thing since sliced bread and you know more than the coaches? You're a second-year player going into your second offseason. You're not even a second. You're a rookie going into his second offseason, and you're going to tell. Anyway, and then, of course, all the injuries and stuff, and it's this, it's that. Like, you were a walking disaster in so many ways. And it was not because of Jay Gruden or Mike Shanahan. It's because your decisions you made. And hence, while Kyle Shanahan has gone to 2 different places and gone to 2 Super Bowls, he's lost them both, but he went to 2 Super Bowls, and you never did crap the rest of your career anywhere you went. Just never did anything. You were terrible. So anyway, I just view this as a complete money grab. And I agree. I think he's full of crap in many, many ways, but I don't know. Screw bum knee. Bum G knee. Bum G knee. That's funny. Didn't Rg3? That's another thing. That's a great point. Thank you so much, Pig. Yeah. Remember? Yeah. Earlier this season, after Fitzpatrick gets hurt, he freaking tweets to Washington. Yeah. Hit me back up. Make the call. I think it was the quote. Make the call. It's like, Washington was so horrible. You had to survive, and now you're like, oh yeah, make the call.
That's a great point. You want to come back and get sexy your ass some more, huh? And then so bad.
Oh my goodness. It's so bad. But anyway, we had to just touch on it because it did come out this week. He made that whole Twitter video, and I have no interest in it. The one thing though that could be positive. What if he helps get Dan kicked out? What if this book somehow contributes to a avalanche of crap that has just been thrown at Dan Snyder? I'll take everything bad I said about RG3 if he gets Dan Snyder out of the building. He's a great dude. Also, he's gonna teach me how to treat a woman when he divorced his wife that just had a kid out of nowhere and cheated on her with another woman.
What's that? Cheated. He was with his wife.
Yeah.
He cheated on a woman with his trainer, who is now his wife. But you're complaining about sexual harassment, but you didn't say anything when you were being sexually harassed by that trainer.
You married her.
Exactly. So now that was the problem. I mean, stupid. I mean, and I want to say this.
Yeah.
The portrayal of him when he was drafted, nice guy,
military family. Yeah.
I mean, it is just like
graduated in 3.5 years. Smart guy. I love the pick. I was so excited for RG3. I'm like, yes.
A Ron Rivera guy. Oh my God. All food.
And then his dad just went nuts. That was a whole other thing. But yeah, we spent enough time on this. We just wanted to touch on it, and let's hop into the real stuff. How about 3 game in a row for Washington? We win again this time on Monday night. That's 2 primetime victories this season. We're 2-0 in primetime, and unless you consider the 4:00 games primetime, but I don't really. But no, the night games where you're the only one on TV. We're 2-0 this year, and then we beat the Steelers last year. Then we beat Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Ron Rivera, I think, is basically undefeated. Maybe we've lost one. I don't remember. What's that?
So I know he has a good record in primetime.
Yeah, and has a phenomenal record here in Washington where it seemed like we couldn't win a primetime game to save our life for a decade or something like that. And now we're 4-0 in the last 4 or something like that. So gotta love that. But what's your thoughts on this game? How positives? Some negatives? What do you got this game?
Positives, we run the ball. That's the only positive. But, I mean, it's the only positive. The negatives, there's so many negatives in this game. Bobby McCain is awful. He's terrible. Running the ball too much actually almost cost us the game because we got too conservative with it. We should have put our foot on their throat and just slung that ball. And just got the touchdown and then ran the ball. That's how you end it. You letting them hang around. I mean, you had the ball, 20 minutes at half, and you only got 9, and it's tied 9-9. I mean, what good is running the ball if you're going to be tired?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't do anything. So, if you're going to control time possession, you got to put points on the board. Period.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. And I don't want to hear, with Joey Sly. With Joey Sly, he got hurt in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we didn't get another try after that because when they got the ball back, it was pretty much halftime. And then you still had the ball 20 minutes and you got 9-9. That's unacceptable. You need to throw the ball more deep.
Yeah.
Dinking and dunking, that's not it. No.
Should have been 10-7 at half because I think he was already hurt before that PAT. Like, yeah, we got blown up on the inside, but I don't even think he kicked it well. Like, I feel like he kicked it scared when he was kicking that ball because I think he already heard it on the kickoff prior, which is sad because I liked Joey Sly as a kicker. I thought he was a solid pickup.
Only out 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the new kicker. We're going to talk about that in a bit. What's that?
The Cowboys and the Eagles. We don't need them for any of those games.
Well, we need a kicker. We just need a kicker. Just make it because as you said, we're driving the football down the field consistently. We're just not able to punch it in, right? Like we're not able to actually get it in the end zone consistent enough where we can have a bunch of points. But I'm happy with it, and we'll talk more about the offensive scheme in a little bit. But yeah, overall, the game was an emotional roller coaster. This game had basically everything. Weird calls, weird challenges. It had the onside kick that didn't actually happen, but it happened, and then it was a penalty for a weird reason. That happened. The kicker couldn't ice the game. It should have been a game over 20-9. Doesn't matter what they did on the final drive. You had Antonio Gibson running out of bounds with 2:25 to go instead of keeping it inbounds to get it to the 2-minute warning. This game was such we thought we had it in the bag several times. The interception on the 2-point conversion, it's like, yes, we're gonna win, and then they get the onside kick, and then it's like, what? No! Oh my goodness, the emotional roller coaster this game was. I mean, so many people in the chat during the game was like, this took 5 years off my life. This took 10 years off my life. It's like, oh man, it was a fun game to watch. Obviously, it's more fun just to blow out a team when it's your team playing, but hey, that entertained the nation on that Monday night because everybody's watching, and it was definitely an odd one, but hey, we showed up and we won against a pretty bad team because Russell Wilson did not play well at all. And if Russell Wilson doesn't play well, the Seahawks are screwed. I mean, there's nothing else to save.
They're better off with Geno.
Yeah, they're better off with Geno. Yeah. Well, with how Russell played, it's almost, I mean, you almost can't disagree with that because of how they played. But anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get this going. And, oh yeah, I didn't share my screen. We'll share it this side. And there we go. All right, so Riverboat Ron was starting to show some passion. I've been actually critical of this throughout this year, especially with things that are not going well. He's kind of just standing on the sideline, like stone-faced, not getting into the ref of a bad call or not getting into the defense with how bad they were playing. He's kind of just, nothing deters him, really. It's just a stone-faced dude, and it's like, you guys aren't playing well. I would like to see something. Show me some passion. But two big things so far that, especially coming out of this game, you had coming off the field, let's effing go. He was pumped up on that one, just fist punching the air, getting the crowd involved in it. And then in the locker room, he has a slogan: for every giant, there is a stone. He gave the stone to Heineke. He threw it against the wall. The team obviously loves it. And he was showing some big energy, dropping some more F-bombs for sure in the locker room. But hey, whatever it takes, I am all for it. What do you think about Ron Rivera's passion after this win?
Loved it. He finally showing what I've been wondering where it was when he came here. Where was that Ron Rivera that was in the locker room yelling and saying, "That's Ron Rivera we've been needing right there"? Why did it take so long? You even see him in the game. I don't even know if you've seen him in the game. In the game, he was hyped.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. I showed the. I saw the last
climbing
stuff.
up the players saying, "Let's go, let's go." In a game, so that's a great sign for the players. I'm happy about it. We need to keep the same energy going into Oakland. I loved it.
I'm with you. Yeah, the same energy. As I said, that's the stuff. I like. You get it out of a lot of younger coaches too, but it just shows when you have that kind of, even when things are going bad and you're angry, or if things are going good and you're extremely happy, it shows that you have love for what's going on. You have passion. It shows that you're very involved in it. What's the word I want to say? But yeah, like you have so much interest in what's going on, and to me, I think it just is a positive vibe. It's a good thing for the locker room, the morale of the team. When your coach is rightfully upset, obviously you don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to be just mean just to be mean. But if you're rightfully upset, the team's going to respond to that as well in a positive way, I think. And then if you're rightfully happy because things are going well, the team's going to respond well to that also. So I like the newfound passion for Ron Rivera. All right. A big thing coming out of this game, good grief. Gotta figure my whole situation out here. Stop running. Here we go. We talked about it briefly, but I said we were gonna go into more in depth here. How far can this offense of Scott Turner's, this new slow game approach, killing the time of possession. I mean, the time of possession, we mentioned it too. In the last 3 games, we have 117 minutes of time of possession compared to only 63 minutes of our opponent. Nearly 2-1 in that category. How far can this take? Is this a winning recipe here in Washington?
It's a winning recipe as long as you put points on the board. It's dumb if you don't. I mean, like I said, this past game, we ran the ball, but we only get, 17 points? It's unacceptable. You got to be able to put this team away. Throw the ball. And then when you throw the ball, you're throwing screens, you're digging and dunking. That's not going to win you no games. You got to push that ball down the field. You got Terry McLaurin, you got Curtis Samuel, Logan Tucker. You got all these weapons. Stretch that field. Stretch the field. You had one-on-one opportunities. They were man coverage almost the whole night. You should have because teams like Tampa, teams like Rams, they keep running the ball if you want to. Oh, go ahead. We're just going to keep scoring touchdowns, even if you do have time possession. So you have, if you're going to do that, you have to put points up on the board. That's how it works. It almost cost us the game because we was too conservative. Let's just run. Let's run. It was really just run the clock out. And you almost lost because of it. You got to put points on the board. You got to take a shot. It's the Seahawks. Take the shot. Stop dinking and dunking. Push the ball downfield. If we can control time possessions and take shots, nobody could beat us.
Yeah, we did take a couple of shots, and it sucks too because like Terry had an opportunity on a one-on-one where, you know, there was a little bit of hand-to-hand combat, but we both thought that he should be able to come down with that football. The other one down the middle for Logan Thomas was a dime by Taylor Heineke. It was right on Logan. It was just a great play by Quandre Diggs, who hit the ball at the right exact spot, popped it up. Jamal Adams got the interception. And it's actually interesting. I was listening to the radio, and I can't get the right angle, but there's an argument that it was not caught. And nobody ever even really looked into it, I feel like. I don't even think they reviewed it, really, which is weird because all turnovers are supposed to be reviewed. But there was one angle that he clearly looked like he did not have the ball. It was kind of like sticking out funny. It was going right at the ground. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you actually take a close look at it with the right angles, the correct angles, I mean, that may have not been an interception. But anyway, back to the point, though, is going downfield. We definitely did not do it much at all, but I don't necessarily know if it was due to the lack of play calls for it. I know we did call a lot of screens, and I know we did call a lot of run plays, but I saw several times where Heineke dropped back and had plenty of time in the pocket, but he just didn't throw the football. Was nobody open? Did he miss it? But it clearly was a long timing routes. It wasn't a quick take the snap, slant, take the snap, screen, take the snap, whatever.
That's
But
fair ball, so you can go 5 wide, 4 wide. You got Curtis.
yeah,
Curtis was open a number of times, but Curtis could have just took it and went.
right.
But you gotta. That goes to play call. You gotta scheme something open. Scheme something open deep across the middle.
Yeah.
Like, do something.
We tried to hit Terry on the first drive on third down, and that was a bad play by Heineke because you had DeAndre Carter wide open for a first down, and he forced it into double coverage for Terry on that one particular play. So yeah, it's like and you might be right. I mean, I remember when I haven't watched the film of this game, but I did take a deep dive into, I believe, the Denver game, and yeah, he did not call a lot for Terry McLaurin to get open. Like, it was not a lot of great scheming for Terry McLaurin.
This game, they caught it like 3-4 plays for Terry. They stopped. Why?
Well, he wasn't catching it. I mean, that's the sad part, right? Well, but you got to keep feeding him, though. You got to keep feeding him.
Dropped.
That they stopped?
They sent him on like a little reverse or whatever where he comes all the way around and then sneaks out. They gave him some of those plays. That gives him up. Why not keep doing that?
Yeah.
Keep doing it. And you got Curtis. Curtis over a couple times. You can't miss that.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely like more wide receiver, like jet sweeps or something. And not like a whole bunch. I don't need like 10 a game. But I don't think we call enough where that's a great opportunity to give Terry the ball. And you just mentioned we just got Curtis back. That's a phenomenal opportunity to get Curtis the ball. I think we did one jet sweep, and it was for DeAndre Carter, right? Like, why not Curtis or why not Terry in those situations where they do more after the catch? I mean, I know DeAndre Carter's earned his spot, and he's been awesome since he's been here. He had a couple of muff punch that nearly cost us. But other than that, I mean, he's definitely earned touches. But if you have Curtis should be getting that ball. I mean, he has a way better center of gravity, way better running after the catch, if you will. And so I would like to see more going that direction. But overall,
it's too much explosion on this offense for you to just not. We should be gunning. Still run the ball, but you got speed everywhere.
True.
Carter. Curtis back, Terry. Then you got little guys like Dax Milling them. You get them like a 10-yard dig. I mean, open it up. Open it up. Do bunch formations with Curtis, Terry, and Carter on the same side. Like, it's not rocket science. Or put like Gibby, Curtis, Terry. You can push the ball down the field like that because you can't in a bunch formation with Curtis and Terry alone right there. Okay, now what we
and Logan in the middle of it. I would love Logan. Yeah, Logan in the middle, Terry on one side, and Curtis on the other of a bunch. I mean, that's dangerous because Terry can block extremely well. Obviously, Logan's a tight end, so he can block. You get Curtis a screen in that kind of a scenario with a pulling guard like a Eric Flowers out of the left or Brandon Sheriff on the right. I mean, you could have big play opportunities. And now let's say you did that formation, and then you decided to give a jet sweep to DeAndre Carter going that way. He's got 3 guys of somewhat size that can block for him. Like, Curtis is not the biggest guy in the world, but he's stocky. Like, he's not Adam Humphries blocking who can't block anybody. I hate that we run his direction at all in some scenarios, or DeAndre Carter can't block a soul. Also, there's a weird thing with the screen passes. Some of these screens, both blockers are blocking the same dude. Why are you doing that?
Because the blockers are not blockers. That's my point. Yeah. Dax Milne and Carter. Bringing Cam Sims to come block. Bringing Samus Reyes to come block. Split him out wide and have him block.
For sure.
Like, come on. John Bates is really getting on my nerves. Because for whatever reason, they just destroy him whenever he's blocking. Like, he has no kind of physicality at all. I want to see Samus more. I like to see John Bates more in the pass game.
Yeah.
But I want to see Sam is in blocking because he's more physical.
I have to look more into that. I think you might be a little harsh on him. I think there may be a couple of plays he got blown up, but I think there's a lot of actually really solid run blocks that he has. But I don't know enough to really fight you on that one.
Destroyed. Every time I look at him, he lands on the ground.
Oh, man. What's the commenter saying about this offense? Roger Smith, what's up, Roger? We can't push it downfield with a pop gun arm QB. This is how we have to play to win.
That's a lie.
He could definitely push it downfield a little bit more, but overall, I agree with the point because he doesn't have a super strong arm. We've seen it many times. I think there was one play this game, actually. I think he threw it to Terry on a comeback or something like that, and it was kind of like off his... Or DeAndre Carter on a comeback.
It got there.
Well, it allowed it should have gotten there quicker. Like if that's Josh Allen, the defender's nowhere near able to hit you as that happens. But or whatever, Pat Mahomes or Justin Herbert, like these kind of guys, they're not even close to the receiver. But for him, he doesn't have that same velocity. But I don't know. I don't see why we don't design some trick plays with Logan Thomas at QB.
We did it last year just once.
Yeah, like some 3rd and 1s, QB sneaks with him in motion. Like I thought that was a kind of a cool idea.
I don't know. I mean, Curtis is back now. What's the excuse?
I don't know.
Like, what's the excuse?
Oh, like a reverse throw with Thomas? Maybe they're saving that in the bag. I mean, because you can't run that several times. Like that's basically maybe twice a year kind of a play. Like you're not going to get that like several times, especially with a reverse to Logan Thomas. You're never running a reverse to Logan Thomas where he's not throwing the football. It doesn't have the same spice as like who's the guy from Dallas that did it? I don't even remember who did it. Was it CeeDee Lamb who threw it or Michael Gallup? I don't remember who it was. Or what? Anyway, those guys have a lot more danger in their ability to run after the catch than a Logan Thomas, where Logan can run after the catch, but he's not the same as a Terry or a Curtis Samuel, for obvious reasons. Taylor has been getting better every game, which I love to see. The last 3 games, he's been really, really good. But to Chris's point, it's not a lot of deep throws. It's a lot of what I love about him is he's smart. And, I mean, he's got to be like 85% completion percentage on 3rd and shorts. I mean, it seems like he's getting the first down all the time. What's that?
He's actually a starter. He's not a normal backup. There's no backup in the league that can do what he's doing.
True. Hot take, the NFL needs to move the trade line back before Thanksgiving? As far as like move it back to Thanksgiving? Because, yeah, I think it was like November 2nd this year, or November 4th, something like that. It was pretty early. But anyway, that's a whole another subject. Taylor doesn't throw a good deep ball over 40 yards. He's inaccurate, dink and dunk, run the ball, try to catch them with a play action with run after the catch.
Yeah, you know that now. It's not going to work.
True. Hey, fellas, just getting in. What's on the menu tonight? What's up, Rashid? We got a lot on the menu tonight. Quite a few more topics to go. Logan Thomas played QB for the first year. Yeah, he played QB at Virginia Tech for sure. Do you think the Rams are overrated? No. I think they're a solid team. But anyway, all right. Back into these topics. And speaking of Logan Thomas had some words about a certain player on this defense in a positive light. It's not a negative thing, but here we go. This is the Logan Thomas quote. Y'all need to start respecting Cam Curl a little bit more, man. He's a top 5 safety in the league. Watch the film. Do we agree with Logan Thomas that Cameron Curl is a top 5 safety?
I do. I agree. And I said this before the season. And I told you this. You don't listen. But somebody's finally listening to me. And Logan Thomas. When teams game plan for Washington, they specifically say 31 is off limits. Everybody else have fun with them. That's what they do. 31, he's off limits. Everyone else have some fun. That guy right there is a top 5 safety in this league. He's having a Pro Bowl year. All this little popularity contest. He should have been last year over Quandre Diggs. Pro Bowl year. The only guy that I've ever seen lock down Travis Kelce when he was on him. Team scared to throw the ball his way. He's a top 5 safety. Period. End of discussion.
Disagree, but he's good, says Zach. Cam Curl's a top 15 at best, according to Yuki. I don't know exactly where he sits. I know he's a 72.8 PFF. And there's some really good other safeties for sure throughout the league. Of course, you got Adams. Of course, you got Minka Fitzpatrick, or what's his name from Denver? Simmons. Is Justin Simmons, or the guy from, isn't there a good one on Carolina as well? I can't think off the top of my head. But anyway, there's obviously some really good safeties throughout the league that I don't know if you can quite put Cam in the top 5 for sure. But what I do know is he can play as well as any of them. You know, like when he's on his best, when he's at the top of his game on a given night, he could reach the heights that basically all of those guys can reach. Because this guy, he's a gamer. He finds a way to get involved in the game. And it was actually, you're right, the game plan for the Seahawks was nowhere near 31. That was the game plan. Wherever he was, don't go to 31. I think it was like halfway through the second quarter, Cameron Curl didn't even have a tackle. It's because they made sure they were going the opposite direction of wherever 31 was going, and they did not throw it his way very often. And then when they did later in the game, they threw it to DK. Nowhere, not a chance of catching that one.
It was a play. Yeah, I see John Cannon posted, and people saying DK was open. 31 was right there. That's why he didn't throw it. People just think that's just nobody knows that. Understand.
Is that when William Jackson get punked?
No, that was the 2-point conversion. DK was with his eyes open. Russ Wilson looked over there. 31 was there. He threw it to the middle of the field. That's all. That's just the effect of it. Yeah. 31 being there, I'm not throwing over there. I'm just going to throw right here in the middle. That's the effect of Cam. He's a top 5 safety to me. There's no way you can tell me he isn't this year when a team simply goes away from you. When I seen Aaron Rodgers have Cam Curl on Devontae Adams, he looked over there and threw it to Allen Lazard. I seen it happen. I seen Patrick Mahomes look at Travis Kelce with Cam Curl on him and throw it to the opposite guy. I've seen it. A guy like that is a top 5 safety. There's no safety in the league that I believe teams do that against. Tom Brady was an idiot. I knew Tom Brady was going to throw it his way. He had to learn the hard way. Yeah. But it's easy. He's top 5. I mean, somebody that takes away a half of a field and you specifically game plan for that one guy, that's a top 5 guy. Because you don't game plan for a lot of guys like that. You don't. They don't do it for Jamal Adams. We didn't do it for Jamal Adams. Well, to be fair, also, we have nobody else in the secondary to fear. Like, if you compare him to his colleagues on the field, I mean, but his colleagues are getting paid more than him. Oh yeah, he's on his rookie deal on a 7. I bet he's making what, like $600,000 a year or $700,000 a year. We're talking about a bargain. Who's a better bargain? Cam Curl at $700,000 or Terry McLaurin at $850,000? That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. You got those 2 guys making that little bit of money. Yeah, under $2 million for both of those guys. Yeah, both of those guys could easily be $15, $20 million. What's that? He is more versatile than probably every safety in the NFL. I don't know about that, but he's great. I love him. I love him. It's not. I know that you have more love for him than me. I know. But I do love Cam Curl. He's the top 5 safety, and all the safeties that y'all like, never lock down Travis Kelce. Just saying, that's none of my business. Curl deserves McCain's interceptions. Curl makes plays, and McCain often drops them if they hand it to him. Well, William Jackson William Jackson was the one that got the interception. Kendall Fuller dropped an interception that was caused by Cameron Curl against the Buffalo. We dropped 3 that night. Yeah, but granted, I mean, Cameron Curl did drop one of his own this last game. I said we dropped 3 last night. Oh, last night, yeah. We did. Because Kendall had one. I think it was on that 3rd down where he jumped the slant. Bobby McCain had one deep, and Cam had that one in the middle of the field. Yeah, you got to get those interceptions, especially when you're playing a guy like Russell Wilson, and that's why it stays. That's why the game's still close. You allow their punter, who I thought Dixon played really well, the punter,
for the Seahawks. I thought he played well.
Really, when you think about it, it probably played into our hand because it's like, well, you're going to leave us back here. We got to just punish this time.
Yeah.
So let's just keep running it. So I know Ron and them probably like, yeah, get us down like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, we'll have an 11-minute drive real quick. Yeah.
Like, you know what? We just gonna give a not a very good punt. Let's just put it down like 25-20, so they can't eat up this clock.
That's funny. That is funny. Well, I know a lot of you were mentioning it, and I wasn't ignoring you guys when talking about Wes or J.D. Mckissic, and we're about to hop into that right now. How big of a deal is losing Wes Schweitzer and J.D. Mckissic? Now, Wes Schweitzer was our third center, or no, I think he was actually the fourth center. No, he was a third. He was a third because it was Chase Rouillet, then Larson, then Wes Schweitzer. So now we're on our fourth center with Keith Ismail, who is definitely a clear downgrade. And I was loving Wes Schweitzer as a center on this team. So I thought that's a big loss for sure. And then, of course, you have J.D. Mckissic, who's been awesome. He's actually leading all running backs in catches since he got here in Washington. So starting last year, he has 134 catches, I believe. And nobody else has that, including guys like Kamara or Christian McCaffrey, who, of course, hasn't played very much. Or list other running back. Nobody else has more catches in the last year and a half than J.D. Mckissic. And he's been awesome as a cheap free agent deal. I liked him when we signed him. This was one that I was hip to. I liked him coming out of Seattle and Detroit. So I was pretty happy to get a guy like that. But I would just ask you in this way, who do you think is the bigger loss out of these two?
Hey, I would say neither, but I would say Wes.
Okay.
I say Wes because Keith Ishmael played well, but we are kind of low on. We're getting low, extremely low on the line. So I would say Wes. The thing with JD is you plug Curtis in and we're fine. I mean, it's not really a big deal with JD. Mm-hmm. But Wes, the fact that we're down to Keith Ishmael and Tyler Lawson's out too, that's now we really pushing. So I'll say Wes.
I 100% agree. And it's kind of interesting how we're going to now use our backfield. You mentioned Curtis. That's a great option for sure. But right now, J.D. Mckissic was kind of spelling Antonio Gibson in the pass game, right? So we're running 29 carries for Antonio Gibson this past Monday night. Or we're running him quite often, and then we bring J.D. Mckissic on third downs or obvious passing situations, or even in second and longs or something like that, or second and shorts that can be in a diverse way. But I think that actually is going to switch, unless we use Curtis. But Jarrett Patterson is probably going to come in to spell for some of those third and ones or the second and shorts that maybe you want to try to run it up the gut. And now Gibby might actually be used a little bit more in the passing game. So maybe he obviously you'll still get some first down runs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's going to be relegated to third down. But I think you're going to see him a lot more on third down and Jarrett Patterson spelling a lot more on first and second downs. And it could be basically a switch. And we may see Antonio Gibson get a few more catches. What do you think about that?
Fine with me. I think Curtis Samuel needs to get more. This is good for him. That's what I want to see. I want to see Kirko get involved in this offense because that's what we're going to need.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would love to see Curtis used in that way because especially when you have JD, you could literally put all three of them on the field at the same time and line them up anywhere on the field. You could line all three of them up in the backfield in some weird way and have like some crazy quadruple option play on second and 3. I mean, how is that going to be stopped? You could pitch it to J.D. Mckissic on the outside. You could hand it to Antonio Gibson up the middle, or you could do a read option with Curtis Samuel, or not a read option, an actual option, I should say, with Curtis Samuel. I don't know. There's so many possibilities if you just start throwing those guys in the backfield. And I'm not saying to run an offense based around this, but on second and shorts, third and shorts, especially inside the 5-yard line of going into the end zone.
Curtis in those situations, because he's explosive.
Give Curtis up the middle.
Yeah.
You said? Yeah. Why not? No, I'm not. I'm just.
Curtis.
Yeah.
Because they're not catching Curtis. Curtis can possibly bounce that out and take it to like 50, 60 yards. Mm-hmm. So I had this game be not a Curtis game, but Curtis. I'll have a focal of getting Curtis the ball. And so Curtis the ball while JD out. I'll say that. I mean, he's just a plug for JD.
Fair.
We got another running back on the roster. We only carried 3.
That's true. We got rid of Peyton Barber. 2-Yard Barber is no longer on the squad. I wonder if we have one on the practice squad. But I don't know. DeAndre Carter. We do have a lot of position flex. That is. Ron's been talking about that for a while, ever since he got here, and I'm sure he talked about that a lot in Carolina as well. But yeah, position flex is not lacking on this team in so many ways, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to build a football team, I think. And I don't know. You can go on a whole other tangent with that, but let's go ahead and move on to. We had a third injury this game. We may have had others, but those are obviously 2 big ones. And the other huge one that nearly lost us the game was Joey Sly, no longer the kicker for the time being. He's probably going to be back in maybe 3-4 weeks, hopefully. But we have a new kicker. The 4th kicker in the Burgundy and Gold is a guy named Brian Johnson, an undrafted free agent this year. He got signed by the Bears originally, cut at the cut deadline. Then he was picked up by the Saints, played a few games. He went 8 for 8 on field goals with a long of 52. He also made a go-ahead field goal to beat the Seahawks 13-10 on that primetime Monday night game. And then he also has 3 missed extra points. So he's made all his field goals, but he has 3 missed extra points. And then going back to his college stats, which are pretty relevant considering it was just last year. In college, he was 76% on field goals, and he never missed a PAT. Of course, the college PAT is much shorter, but it's still good to never have a missed PAT out of, I believe, like 130 attempts or something like that. Like, he had a lot of PAT attempts in Virginia Tech, I believe he went to. So what do you think about this new kicker? Do you think he has any potential? He's 22 years old. A lot of time left. What do you think?
I mean, he's 22. I mean, he should have potential. I don't expect much from him. I think from 45 and in, they'll give it to him. For 45 and out, we're going for it. I think.
That's interesting. Yeah, you could probably move that back to 50, but yeah, we're definitely not sending him out for 56-yarders or 58-yarders, especially considering we just had one blocked last week, a PAT, of course, but blocked and returned. Ron Rivera is not going to be taking too many more chances with the kicking situation. I'm sure he's done with it. If there's one thing that he's so done with on this team, it's the stupid kicker position, which obviously is extremely important because, as I mentioned, it nearly lost us the game. Like, we should have been able to kick a game-icing field goal from, a 25-yard field goal attempt because we were at the 4, but instead we have to settle for going for a touchdown and we don't get it, and then it gets really close. So it's a scary situation, but the one thing we're losing with Brian Johnson that Joey Sly was built like a linebacker. I mean, he was a big dude. He got some big legs. He's actually got some stockiness to him. This guy is much smaller, but hey, if he can kick field goals, that's really the main point is please kick the field goals. What are you guys thinking about this kicker right now? Most teams don't carry fullbacks there. Oh yeah, Roger wants a fullback, I guess, huh? I said we needed a fullback last year. We don't run enough I formation. I don't know. I like the shotgun runs. And I know that Roger hates them.
I mean, I don't mind them. I'm just getting tired of them on the third and ones. I love them
Well,
for like
yeah.
the first and tens, and because it gets you chunk yardage, because it give you a running start. But for third and one, I mean, at the end, put Samus in at fullback and just hand it off to Samus. As big as
Yeah, you don't have any fullback runs out of that, but you could have QB runs out of that because if you have I'm sure all of these runs are read options that Taylor's just not keeping any of them. But you also, obviously, it's easier to pass out of the shotgun. You don't have the big drop back. You take the snap, real quick play action. You can hit a slant real quick. There's a lot more versatility, I think. There's a lot more fooling them because we did have a single back formation that we ran up the middle and got completely stuffed on. And one thing that we probably should have gone away from it for is because of the lack of West Switcher. Keith Ismail is not known for run blocking. Coming out of college, he was a big pass blocker. I think he was like one of the highest rated pass blockers, like centers, I should say, pass blocking centers in that entire draft. And then his run blocking was way down according to the ratings. But anyway, our new kicker is from Gonzaga High School. Oh, so he's a local kid. That's cool. He will be okay, hometown boy. I like him. All right, there you go. Yeah, not a lot of teams carry fullbacks. Oh, that's a fullback thing. Yeah, but if we're going to run the ball, nope, sorry. More fullback stuff. Don't let him kick. Nothing in the 50s, says Tone J. That's funny. Barber was money on third and short. Yeah, he's 2-yard Barber for a reason, man. The kicker carousel, it never gets old. Oh, it's real old. I believe passing out, flanking the belief in passing and outflanking opponents assign no toughness and physicality in it. It's coming back though. Anything the hoodie does, all the coaches follow. I mean, that's a good guy to copy talking about Bill Belichick, but I don't know. You could still be physical out of a shotgun run. I don't know why this idea that if it's a shotgun run, you have no physicality anymore. I don't necessarily agree with it. Do you agree with that mindset, or?
I just don't mind the shotgun runs as long as we don't do them on third and ones and third and shorts.
Well, we can't do it every single time. That's another thing. Is you got to switch it up some. You got to have some tendency breakers. But we've gotten a lot of first down on third and shorts. I mean, that's out of the shotgun.
Play action that, because they know you're running. How about you play action that?
Mm-hmm.
Get something deep, a big chunk play, a slant, drag, dig, hitch. Like, how about you do something like that? Get Logan down the seam, or Samus, or something.
Fair.
We just not good. That's one of the things we lack is creativity.
Fair enough. What up, QWERTY? Long time no see. How you doing, QWERTY? What's up, Francis? Bro, nice win for the Skins. Absolutely. Barber's going to get 3-yard in this revenge game versus us. That's a great comment. 2-yard Barber's going to find a way to get 3. That is funny. Because I remember even when he got a completion, he got 2 yards. In the preseason, I think it was. It was such a meme with Peyton Barber. And I don't even think he's that bad, but he wasn't that good here in Washington either. But here we go. Here's a fun topic. Here's something interesting. And that is, currently we're sitting at the 7th seed in the playoffs. But can we become the NFC East 2020 champs? And can we do it as quickly to take the lead by next week? Not this week coming up after the Raiders, but we have Dallas the following week. Can we end up being basically worst to first in just about a 4-week span here in Washington? Number 1 in the East. Can we do it?
We have to hope, and we got to be Saints fans tomorrow.
Gotta be Saints fans, true.
We gotta be Saints fans tomorrow. And you know what? So far, things been going our way. We needed the Eagles to lose. They lost. Mm-hmm. We need Dallas to lose. If Dallas lose, now guess what? We got to go take care of business in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
We take care of business in Oakland, that game is for the division. You beat Dallas. Oh, but the Eagles twice, jokes. The Giants, jokes. I mean, I'll probably lose to Dallas on purpose. Just saying. But I just to
lull them to sleep.
Yeah, just to, all right, let's get them, But Hey, why not run the tables? Why not run the tables? But it all's going to have to start with Thursday night tomorrow. If Dallas lose, we're going to beat Oakland. I'm not even tripping about Oakland. But Dallas lose. Next week is the game of a century. And they should move that. If that's what it comes down to, move it to Monday night, 8:30, put it in prime time. It doesn't get no better than that. You have to.
Yeah, this game's a 4:00 game, so it's kind of like that window where there's less games being played. But yeah, and I would love to see Dallas, Washington flexed
at home, and it's at home too. Can you imagine? We take division league at home.
It's not good for the channel. Here. I'll say that it's not good for our channel because we don't get as many views when it's a night game. But it still would be pretty cool to have Skins Cowboys going for the number 1 spot in the division. That's a lot of fun. The coin says we lose to Vegas. Oh, screw the coin.
Amazing. That's gonna be amazing.
Yes, the classic rivalry of Cowboys and Washington football team. That's funny. Yeah, it's gonna be a big game tomorrow.
Even if they win, but they got 4 losses.
They have 4 losses now. Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row.
If they win and we win, we beat them. They're 7-5, and I think they got to go to Philly or Giants or something like that. Then we got to be Giants fans. But they still got the Cardinals too. They're gonna lose that game, and they got us twice. I think we're gonna split, but I think we're gonna win the one at home.
Okay.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, they better not lose Sunday. Tomorrow. They lose Thursday. Ron Rivera gonna have that team. We're gonna smoke Oakland. Just so we can hurry up and get to Dallas. We're gonna smoke Oakland. We're gonna take care of our business.
Yep. So they have this. The Cowboys have the Saints, Washington, Giants, Washington, Cardinals, Eagles. So they also have 4 division games out of 5 to end the year. So I guess that's probably a lot of teams this year has a lot of division games towards the end, making it interesting for sure because a lot of things can change when they start playing each other and start beating up on each other. But anyway, you're right. They do have a tough Cardinals team, and the Cardinals are going to be fighting for first place. So with 2 weeks left, they're not going to be, sitting Kyler Murray or sitting the rest of their team. They're going to try to be getting that bye week to get as healthy as possible.
We get Tiz back on Dallas. Ooh, it just seems like it's just setting up for that game to be the division league. When you get Tiz back, you might get Cosme back. You might get Seal Jones back. It just feels like it's just setting up for that game to be the division. If we take the division league next week, oh my God, it's over.
Hey, somebody's proud of you. Chris, I'm proud of your positive mindset. You know what's funny? I've said this to other people. Yeah, during the week, Chris is positive during the week. Chris, during the week, is Washington can't lose to anybody. They will never lose with Chris during the week. Once you have that 3-hour game time window, like Chris goes down, as Spoiled likes to call it, into the shadow realm, and he just gets so frustrated in so many ways. And it's funny because it's the opposite for me. I'm over here like, well, there's this, and they have a good team, and they have weapons here. I'm kind of like I like to call it a realist, but they call it a pessimist, right? And then once we get in the game, I'm like, no, we're doing great. We're doing here. We're doing this. We're doing that. Oh, it's just a funny thing. Yo, Tim, I hate when people say that I love the Bucs because Tom Brady's on the team. I've been a Bucs fan before Tom Brady was on the team. I'm sure that is a frustrating thing, which is why it's nice to be a fan of your home team, because no matter who comes to Washington, I can say I'm from the Washington area. Like I'm a home team fan, and it's like hard to argue. It's like, yeah, I've always been a Washington fan. And first of all, now I have a YouTube channel you can go watch. I've been a Washington fan for quite some time now. But even before then, it's like, yeah, I'm from 20 minutes away from the stadium. Of course I'm a Washington fan. But if you're a Bucs fan living in Nebraska, like, you've been a Bucs fan for 20 years living in Nebraska, then all of a sudden Tom Brady comes to town. You're going to get a lot more, it's going to be harder to quote-unquote prove you've been a Bucs fan your entire life sitting in Nebraska, of all places. But anyway, funny thing there. I don't know if the football team might lose. Raiders start with the letter R, and we used to. I feel like this is a solid reason as to why we might lose. You know what I mean? Clear as mud. Nothing but cap.
We're going to blow them out badly, I believe. We're going to blow them out badly.
I need to be the Robert E. Lees. You're ridiculous. All right. I do want us to really beat the Raiders, and I think it's what was his name again? The Washington Football Addicts, I think they're called. And one of the guys that hosts the Washington Football Addicts left while being a Washington fan and became a Raiders fan of all teams. And I hope that we beat him, and then maybe he comes back. Maybe he comes crying back to Washington. Hey, can I be a fan again? Like, can I join the club? Oh, could you imagine if somebody wanting to be... it's hard to want to be a Washington fan these days, right? Like, if you haven't been a Washington fan your whole life or for 20 years or 15 plus years, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, let me be a Washington fan in Idaho. I like to, let me choose Washington of all teams. But anyway, all right, let's hop into this, I almost said Seahawks game, Raiders game. They have just beat the Cowboys, but they are going to be missing Darren Waller, most likely. So that's a huge weapon they love to use, obviously. They are a team that... Anyway, what do you think about this Raiders game before we get into the 5 keys to victory?
I'm thinking blowout. I'm thinking they're the 29th defense against the... They rank 29th against the rush, which plays heavily into our hands. I'm thinking their secondary's terrible. Their linebackers are awful. Their front four is legit, but our O-line is just too good. I'm thinking their offense is Hunter Renfrow based.
Yeah, he's been great. Yep.
And I'm thinking you get pressure on Carr, you double team Renfrow, you should have a field day with the Raiders. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because they have Deshaun Jackson now, which obviously is a shell of himself.
One route,
still
one
speed.
One route.
Yeah.
And guess what? We all know where that route was going to be ran at. So Bobby McCain played 30 yards off the ball. 30 yards.
To Bobby McCain.
Whenever
that
you
is
see
funny.
Jack in, play 30 yards off the ball. And you get burned.
Yep. All right. Here's my 5 keys to victory. Do you want to do 5 keys as well? You want to do? All right. I have mine written down, so we can take turns. You want to do each one, or do you want to do all 5 years? I do all 5 of mine. All right, take turns. Here we go. I'll start first. Number 1 key to victory to beating the Raiders, and honestly, this is the biggest key. I don't care what anybody says because this is literally the key to beat the Raiders. Keep Derek Carr under 300 yards passing. They are undefeated when he throws for over 300 yards, and they have not won a single game when he does not get over 300 yards. So whatever you have to do, time of possession, make sure that they don't have a bunch of chances at the ball like we've been doing, or obviously get pressure on them like you said. Keep him under 300 yards because literally they have not won a game when he does not get under 300 yards. Go ahead and start with your first one.
Force the ball to 31. Force them to force the ball to 31.
31. That's right. That's always his first one, and it's a good one. All right. Number 2 for me, stay disciplined on penalties. One of the big reasons the Cowboys lost is they got into the mud with the Raiders. The Raiders are one of the most penalized teams in the league this year. And there was like 19 penalties in the game or something like that. And I think actually Dallas ended up with more penalties, and you lose a game in overtime. Let them be the one with all the penalties. Don't do anything stupid after the plays. Don't grab at each other's for people's face masks. Just wrap up. They will find ways to get penalties and screw themselves on a lot of drives. Alex Leatherwood, who I still kind of like in ways, but good gosh almighty, this dude is a walking penalty. I mean, literally, he should just be wearing yellow out there because he cannot not get a penalty. It's just insane. So please just stay disciplined on penalties. We've been pretty good on penalties throughout the year. I want to continue to see that. Stay disciplined on penalties. All right, what's your number 2?
John Allen dominate this poor offensive line. He was trash last week. Showed up in the fourth quarter. He was trash last week. Please dominate. Their guard is terrible. Please dominate him.
Yeah.
Please. John Allen, I need a sighting. I need a sighting this game.
Fair enough. All right, my number 3. Catch the interception. All right, we've dropped too many. We talked about we dropped 3 last week. We've dropped other ones throughout the year. Carr has thrown 9 interceptions this year, and he's thrown 5 in the last 4 games. He is going to get a ball or 2 here or there in a dangerous situation. We have to make sure that we come away with the catch. Don't worry about running after it. I don't care. Number 1 thing, catch the football, and then if you have an opportunity to run, then run. I don't care if you get 0 yards in the interception. Make sure to catch it when it comes your way, because there will be at least 1, maybe 2, that come your direction. What's your number 3?
Number 3, get Terry 15 targets. They have no cornerbacks, for crying out loud. Get Terry the ball, please. Target him. This should be a huge game for Terry. Just like last game. Y'all didn't do it last game. Do it this game. That's my 3rd one.
All right. My number 4 is help Keith Ismail. All right. I think he was a big problem with those 3rd and short runs. We were trying to run it up the middle, and we didn't get enough push up the middle. I want to see some outside runs, some boots, not to the direction of Max Crosby. All right, that dude's a freak. All right, let's go away from Max. But I want to see some help for Keith Ismail, and we really need Brandon Sheriff and Eric Flowers to really step up and help the young man in the middle. He's very few starts under his belt. He's not that great to begin with. We got to help Keith Ismail as much as possible. We need to kind of go away from those run up the middles on those 3rd and shorts, because he's a big reason he was getting blown up, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So that's number 4 for me. What's number 4 for Jeris?
Get the ball to Curtis. Out in space. Like I said, their corners are terrible. They're not fast at all on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
We have speed galore. We should be eating them up. Get Curtis out in space. Let him work. That's my 4th one.
All righty. Number 5. Number 5 is important. And we've seen it the last 3 weeks. Heineke, continue doing what Heineke has been doing. He has been phenomenal on the completion percentage. He has been one of the best on 3rd and shorts in the last 3 weeks. I bet if you compare him to anybody else throughout the league, I don't care who it is, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, compare him to anybody, Taylor Heineke has been right there with all of them. And I love what he's been doing on those 3rd downs. He is the key that has turned to get us to these long drives. We've had situations in these 3rd and shorts all year long, and we haven't been able to convert, whether it's a stuffed run up the middle or an incomplete pass, a bad read by Heineke, whatever the case may be. We've had these situations, but that key has turned. It has changed. The tide has turned, if you want to say. Heineke's been doing great on those 3rd and shorts. Continue to do that, and that it will be a huge key to make sure we win that time of possession like we've been doing and beat the Raiders in potentially decisive fashion.
What's this, the 4th one, 5th one?
This is number 5. Last and certainly least.
Number 5, man. Let Heineke be Heineke. That's my 5.
Heineke be Heineke. All right. Well, Now let's go ahead and hop into score predictions, and then we'll have the power rankings and weekly predictions to round out the show. Do you want to go first or me first on the predictions?
What, for this game?
Mm-hmm. The score prediction.
33-17.
33-17. I like that. They give up a lot of points. But I don't think we're going to get to 30 because of how we play. I think it's going to be 27-17. I got us winning 27-17. They do have a bad defense. You can see here. I mean, they haven't given up less than 20 since the Steelers game week 2. But they've given up 30, 33, 32, 41, 23 to the lowly Giants. They gave up 22 to the Eagles, 24 to the Broncos, 20 to the Bears, who've been awful, like 28 to the Chargers, who obviously has a pretty good offense. But their defense they have a great player named Max Crosby, but they don't have a great defense. So got to get some points on the board. But I think 30 is a stretch because of how we play. You know, we would literally have to score 5 touchdowns to get to 35. I don't think we get 30. I don't think we get over 30 and we've made field goals just because of how long it takes us to score. But hey, I will obviously be happy to welcome that case. All right. Power rankings of the NFL. I didn't even write mine down yet, so we're going to wing it again as I did last week, but I thought it was a pretty good power rankings. Honestly, did anybody in my top 5 lose last week? I don't know. Did I put Dallas in my top 5 last year or week? I don't think I did. I think I put the Rams.
No, you didn't.
I think I put the Rams. But anyway, all right. Top 5 of the power rankings. What do you got there, Chris? Who's your number 5?
Washington.
Washington is number 5?
Washington's in
All right, he's officially lost his mind, but I like it.
Washington is in my top 5. We the hottest team in the NFL right now. That's what it is. Washington in my top 5.
All righty then. I'm going to go with... There's a few really good teams. Trying to decide where I want to go with this. I think I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. All right. Number 5 for me, I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They still have the GOAT. They have a really solid front 7. They got tons of weapons. I know we beat them. They didn't have Antonio Brown. They didn't have, what's their names? Rob Gronkowski. But I still think they're a team that's going to come alive late, just like they did last year, and they're going to be a really good football team. I got them at my number 5.
Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals?
The Bengals. Joe the Goat Barrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and beating the crap out of Pittsburgh. Give me Cincinnati at 4.
Okay, my next team coming off the bye is the Kansas City Chiefs. I had them in my top 5 last week. I'm going to continue to put them in my top 5. They have the best quarterback in the league. They have a great coach. I know their defense sucks, but they have a good defensive coach, so they're going to start to figure it out a little bit. But I have them at number 4 because when you have the best quarterback and you have a great offensive mind, you are a great football team. I don't care what your defense looks like. I have them number 4 in my power rankings.
Number 3.
Actually, I think we usually go back and forth, so I'll go first this time. So here's my number 3. Number 3 is the Hoodie and the Mac Man. New England Patriots moved to number 3 on my list. They're 8-4. They're a great football team. They just beat... Who'd they beat this week? I thought they beat a decent team. I can't remember off the top of my head. Who they beat? I don't remember.
Who they beat?
Either way, I know they won because they're sitting here at 8-4. They're on, I believe, a 6-game winning streak now. I mean, yeah, 6-game winning streak. I think that's the longest in the NFL currently. They're figuring it out. They play great defense. They have a great offensive line. Mac Jones is doing just enough. And the New England Patriots sit at number 3. Number 3 for you. Green Bay at 3.
Green Bay at 3.
The Green Bay Packers. All right. Who's your number 2?
Cardinals.
The Cardinals at number 2. Okay. I believe they had a bye week last week also. I think they did. So they're still sitting at 9-2 with the best record in the league. I like it. My number 2 is the Green Bay Packers. They just beat the Rams. They're a really great football team. Obviously, they have Aaron Rodgers and company. And, you don't need to go too deep into why the Packers are sitting at 9-3 right now. One of the best records in the league. And they're one of the best teams in the league.
I'm going to go with number 1, with the number 1 overall rank in the 2021 Power Ranking Draft. I got the New England Patriots. The Mac Man is back in town. The Mac is back in town. The Mac is back in town. The Mac Man, the future Tom Brady, who going to be better than Tom Brady, who's having a better rookie season than Tom Brady, touchdowns, everything. Give me the Mac Man for number 1.
Give you the Mac Man number 1. Roger agrees with you. Roger agrees. And they're a great team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, if you're sleeping on the Patriots, you just don't know what you're doing. They got a tough matchup this week. They got the Bills, so we'll see what they do. But, yeah, they just crushed the Titans. They're 25-0 of the Falcons. They 45-7 the Browns. I mean, good night. 24-6 the Panthers. They tough one against the Chargers, 27-24. Yeah, this is 54-13 over the Jets. I mean, they are rolling right now. The best coach team in the league. So I like it. I have them at number 3, but they could easily continue to move up the ranking, especially if they beat the Bills this week. All right. Number 1, you had them at number 2. I still got them at number 1. The Arizona Cardinals are the best team in the league right now. They're not healthy at the moment, but they got so much going for them, and I still think that they are deserving of the number 1 team. But yeah, the Patriots are surging in my book. All right. What's up, everybody? So that was the power rankings, and now we got the weekly predictions. Let me pull up the schedule here. And we got tomorrow night. So currently right now in the standings, actually, I am sitting at a +1 over Jeris. He did beat me this past week by 1. We had 5 different games. He won 3, I won 2 of them. But I'm sitting +1 on the year. Are you nervous?
No.
Should be. All right. So, game number 1 tomorrow night. The Dallas Cowboys versus the New Orleans Saints. I got Dallas.
Me too. Even though I wanted to lose so bad.
I know. I'm rooting against them. I would love to get this one
wrong. I was like, I'm going to be for the Giants. I think the Eagles go win. I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully, I get the same result. Give me Dallas. I'm going to keep picking them. So hopefully
well, you picked the Giants last week.
Yeah, I picked the Giants that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Did I?
Yep. That was the
Giants,
one. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is a nail biter. Bucks versus the Falcons.
Bucks. You said nail biter. That threw me off. I'm trying to figure out.
All right, the Arizona Cardinals. I'm glad I got you.
That's a nail biter. Oh, that's hilarious. And if it is, what if it wound up being one? Oh my gosh. That's going to be hilarious.
That is funny. All right, we got the Arizona Cardinals going to the Chicago Bears Stadium.
The Cardinals with Colt McCoy and company.
You don't think I got Arizona's also. But you don't think what's his name will be back yet?
I hope he is.
Kyler?
I'm going to see them.
Oh, here's a good game. This is a really good game. Los Angeles Chargers going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Chargers.
Man, you just had
I think
Cincy
the
in your
Chargers-
top 5?
I think the Chargers are coming off a loss. I don't think they're going to lose back-to-back. Give me the Chargers.
I'm taking Cincy. Give me Cincy.
Right.
I like the Chargers, and I can totally see them winning this game, but I'm going Cincy in this game. We'll see what they got. All right, the Vikings versus the Detroit, going to Detroit.
Vikings.
Yes, sir. All right. We got the New York Giants going down to Miami to play the Dolphins.
Dang, that's a hard game to call. That is a hard game to call. But I'm going to go Tua.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins.
That can go either way.
I don't know. I think the Giants just won because it's a division game last week. I still think they're bad. And the Dolphins are actually coming alive. I think they're sitting at like 5-6 now after like an 0-4 start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they have 7 losses. They're sitting at 5-7. They've won the last 4 in a row, including beating the Ravens. They beat the Panthers last week, and then of course they beat the Jets and the Texans. That helps, but they're actually coming back alive with Brian Flores. So give me the Dolphins for sure in that game. Let's go Philly going to New York to face the other New York team, the Jets. It ain't easy being green.
Give me the Eagles.
Yep, I'm with you.
Give me
All right.
The Falcons or whoever you play, the Texans.
Indianapolis Colts versus the Texans. You got the Texans, right?
Nah, give me the Colts.
All right. You got Texans. I got you. All right. I wrote you down for the Texans, of course. It's like, no, just kidding. Washington versus the Raiders. Of course, we both picked Washington. All right, next game, we got Jacksonville Jaguars going all the way across the country to face the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams. I'm with you. Of course.
Rams are going to beat the crap out of them.
We may only have one game different this week. There's a lot of... Oh, this one's going to be tough. We may have this one different. Who knows? Actually, I don't know. Baltimore Ravens going up to Pittsburgh Steelers, the division rivalry.
Baltimore. They're going to beat the crap out of the Steelers. Baltimore.
Give me Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, I got
Give me Pittsburgh.
I got this one in the bag for sure.
They're at home. It's a nitty-gritty game. Almost always the team that is expected to lose. Who?
No, they was in Cincinnati guys.
Maybe. I don't remember. All right. I'm taking the Steelers. That smells like an upset to me. San Francisco 49ers going to Seattle.
Seattle.
Ooh, give me San Fran.
You got Seattle. Seattle going to upset that.
Upset there. Okay. Back-to-back upset picks for us. Denver traveling to Kansas City.
It wouldn't surprise me in a different one, but I'm going to take Kansas City.
Do they have Drew Lock starting yet?
I told you they benched him after he threw that pick.
Give me KC. All right, here it is. The New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills on Monday night.
Give me Buffalo.
Ooh. I'm taking New England. Give me the Mac Man. Give me the Mac Man. All right. All right, so we got a few games different towards the end. I got Pittsburgh, you got Baltimore, I got San Fran, you got Seattle.
I'm thinking about changing that.
I got New England, you got Buffalo. And then I got Cincy, you got the Chargers.
I'll take New England. Give me New England.
Oh, you're changing to New England?
Yeah, because Josh Allen lost to the Jaguars. He ain't having a good year. Give me New England.
I'm mad you changed that one. I thought I had a win.
Because Tre'Davious White out. He out for the season, so I ain't going to pick him no more.
Rodgers is 35-10 New England. I highly doubt that. You know why? Because all the night games have been so good. So good. Man, he's predicted a lot of blowouts. Colts 40-14, Rams 20-3, Ravens 17-10 over the Steelers. That's a tough one. I don't see Saints beating the Cowboys, but I really hope they do. I'm with you, Jacob. I am with you. Steelers because they got Haskins. Is Haskins starting for real?
No.
Okay, good. Because I may have to change if that's the case. 21-7 49ers. That's a good one. Roger, I said Patriots in the Super Bowl right after free agency. Fair enough, Jared. Fair enough. But hey, what's up, Jared? How you doing? Anyway, all right. Well, that's another show. I am still leading the weekly pick'ems right now. I did talk to my dad. My dad should be back home and ready at his computer, so we should be having skins in the game tomorrow night. So if you want to stop by and do that, and of course, we're going to be doing play-by-game for a critical NFC East matchup, the Cowboys versus the Saints. What's up?
On Saturday, I'm doing the college football games.
There you go.
So come to our other channel on the stream and sub to the freaking channel, please. I'm sick of telling y'all this, or he telling y'all this.
First link in the description.
Sub to the channel on our other channel, please. It's called Tim and Jeris Sports Talk. Go sub to the freaking channel. It's not
links in the
hard,
description.
It's not hard. It doesn't take long. Just punch the freaking thing. It's red. And put on post notifications as well. And I'll be doing Georgia, Bama, and Cincinnati, Houston. I'll be flipping back and forth because I'm not missing Ritter beating the crap out of Houston.
Georgia, Bama is this week?
Yeah.
And they play at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
That's criminal. That's criminal. They really play at the same time?
Yep, 4.
Play at 4, and they both play at 4. That is gross. That is gross. They should totally split those games up. Why are they? Those are like the two best. What other game is in? I mean, Michigan, Iowa at
Michigan
8 is pretty good.
It is good, but Michigan gonna probably punish Iowa.
Yeah, I would totally switch. I don't know. I feel like Cincinnati, Houston should be at like noon.
Me too.
They have Baylor versus Oklahoma State at noon.
That game is going to be... You know what? I know why they did that. Because Oklahoma, it kind of like ups the suspense. Because if Oklahoma State beats Baylor and Georgia loses to Alabama, see, then Oklahoma State has to wait till Georgia plays Alabama. Because if Georgia beats Bama, Oklahoma State's in. But that puts more pressure on Bama to beat Georgia if Oklahoma State's win. So it just ups like the suspense and all that. So this is actually smart. So I can see why they did that.
Yeah, Oklahoma State should play first. I agree. I can definitely agree with that. Who's that? Is Notre Dame's not playing?
No,
because they don't have a conference. So yeah, they don't have. So Notre Dame needs a lot to happen for them to get in, huh?
Bama will have to lose. Oklahoma State will have to lose, and Michigan will have to lose.
Bama. Well, one of them we're going to lose, UGA and Alabama. If UGA loses, are they still in?
Yeah.
So they can't. In your mind, they can't get out.
They can't. They can't get out.
Okay. So in your mind, they're still in no matter what.
Bama will have a 2 loss. That's 2 losses if Bama lose.
No. I'm sorry. I may have said it wrong. Of course, if UGA wins, they're in. I'm talking about if UGA loses. So Alabama would be 12-1. UGA would be 12-1.
UGA would be in.
Okay.
Michigan, if they win, would be in. We would have to win then. That'll put the pressure on us to actually beat the crap out of Houston.
Right. Because, if Alabama loses, you're basically in. I mean, of course you have to win, but, I mean, if Alabama loses, you're a win and you're in. Yeah. Period. Like, you're not getting kicked out at that point. Are you sitting in the top 4 according to the playoffs now? Okay, that's good. And Houston is ranked, so it's going to be a good win. So even if the other stuff happens, I think if you win this game, you're in no matter what, because you're beating a top 25 opponent. So that's huge. So yeah, you should be in no matter what. Like, I don't see Oklahoma State finding a way.
This is just Houston is really good. They're really good. Okay. I'm glad y'all hyped this team up to the level you hyped them up. So when Ritter blows them out, which I'm telling y'all he's going to do, he's going to destroy them. He's going to have the game of his life this game. I'm telling you. When he does
Did you send me that video of how you score on Georgia's defense? Is that you who sent it?
No, I didn't see it.
Somebody sent me a video of like, how do you score on Georgia's defense? And it was literally the offense threw an interception, and then one of the receivers stripped the ball from the Georgia defense and ran it for a touchdown. Like, that's how good their defense is. It's insane. But their defense is phenomenal.
We're going to see just how good they are.
I'm afraid for you. I think the Georgia Bulldogs are going to crush you guys like 41 to 10.
Lost your mind.
41 to 10.
Watch Ritter work. That's all I'm going to say. Watch him work.
I'm rooting for him. I hope he does. I hope he does fantastic. Fantastic. Oklahoma State just has played great competition. They have? It's just the way it works. Okay. Have they? I don't know. I guess they beat Oklahoma, right? Who's their loss?
They got a loss?
Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a loss to Iowa State.
We win, we in. Because we got the most impressive win out of everybody in the top 4. Because we beat Notre Dame.
Well, obviously, I don't think it's the most impressive win. But
it's the most impressive win because of where Notre Dame's ranked.
Yeah, but obviously if Georgia beats Alabama. But it doesn't matter.
That's why we're in, though, because we beat Notre Dame. And that's the most impressive win out of everybody. That's why we're in. Because Notre Dame is like, what, 7th? And at the time, they was ranked 5th.
I think they're 6th
so we got
right
the most impressive win. So we win, we get in regardless.
I think they're 6th, actually.
They may be. I think they're 6. You're right. They're probably 6. So we beat your top 16.
Yeah, they're sitting at number 6 right now at 11-1.
Nobody else in there just beat each other, or even played each other, rather.
Yeah, I mean Michigan's win over Ohio State was pretty impressive. That was crushing. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna nitpick that. Yes, if Cincy wins, they deserve to be in 100%.
And we're undefeated, so
yeah, it's a no-brainer that they should be in. They're already at 4. They would be sitting at, what, 13-0? I think you're 12-0 right now?
Yep.
So, yeah, you'd be sitting at 13-0. There's no way a 13-0 team that's beat the likes of Notre Dame and another top 25 team. Have you guys beat any other top 25 teams?
No. SMU was one, but they got kicked out.
Were they top 25 when you played them?
No. They got kicked out.
So you played number 9 Notre Dame.
Supposed to be another game. People were saying, "Oh, SMU's good. Tennessee can lose their game," and we see what Richard did to them. So I'm just saying,
48-14, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right. Well, anyway, they will get boat raced. Who's them? Oh, you're talking about probably Cincy or Notre Dame, I guess. He's talking about Notre Dame. Never mind.
We ain't getting the boat raced by nobody in these playoffs.
Hashtag RTR. With a bunch of elephants? I don't even know what that is.
I got such a great feeling about Saturday. We're just gonna put on a show of a lifetime.
There you go.
We're gonna put on a show of a lifetime. And then we're gonna go to Georgia. We're gonna get our rematch.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna win that. I don't know how we're gonna win that game. We're just gonna win that game. I don't know how. We're just gonna win that game some way. We'll figure it out.
Fair.
If we win the national title, I don't want to hear anybody else say anything about Ritter. I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear it at that point. If he wins a national title, beating Georgia, and possibly beating a Michigan or Alabama, it's out the window. It's out the window.
You know what? I'm curious. Let's think about this for a second. Is there a path? Is there a path for like? Let me put it this way: like, who are the teams that can get in? Like, who's the teams that actually have a path? Like, Oklahoma State pretty much does not have a path because they're behind Notre Dame. So They can't leap Notre
They're in
Dame.
front of Notre Dame.
No, they're 7th and Notre Dame's 6th.
No, Oklahoma State is 5.
Did I say Oklahoma State? I meant Ohio State. I'm sorry. You're right.
Oh,
Oklahoma
Ohio
State.
They have no chance because they don't got a game.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
had a game and they just got beat by Michigan. They don't have a chance. The only 2 teams that can get it, there's only 2 teams that has a chance. That's Notre Dame and Oklahoma State. Outside of that, nobody else has a chance.
Does a team like Iowa have a chance?
No, because they're 17.
Well, they're 17 right now, or 15 right now.
They beat,
But if they beat Michigan, like, let's go this way. Like, if they beat Michigan, Georgia beats Bama, Cincinnati loses to Houston, and Oklahoma State loses to Baylor. Baylor's sitting at 9, though. But Iowa would have the more impressive win over Michigan.
They're too lowly ranked. And then they're going to take into everything account. So Notre Dame would get in.
Well, Georgia would be in for sure because they beat Alabama.
Notre Dame would be in.
Notre Dame would be
Michigan
in.
Lose?
Yep, I said Michigan lost to
So
Iowa.
Notre
If
Dame-
Michigan lost to Iowa,
So Notre Dame, Georgia will both be in. Alabama
Okay.
will be in. They might try to put, but you can't put Alabama in and not put Cincinnati in because they're 2 losses. So
yeah, because
so
also
Georgia,
Alabama
Notre
lost to
Dame-
Texas A&M. Yeah, I mean, if you lose the
and you
final
said
week,
Oklahoma
I
State
think they're out.
lose?
If Oklahoma State lost to Baylor, now Baylor is ranked at number 9, and they would have a good win over number 5 Oklahoma State, of course. So they have an argument to go in. But what's more impressive, Baylor beating Oklahoma State, or Iowa beating a team like Michigan?
I don't think Iowa would get in because they're so low. You couldn't put Iowa over Ohio State. You can't do that. You couldn't do
But
that.
Michigan destroyed Ohio State, and Iowa. If they beat the number 2,
low, you couldn't just push them up. You couldn't.
so
the top
there's no
7.
way Iowa gets in.
No way. They have no shot.
I don't know. It's interesting because also a Big Ten championship. You have a Big Ten championship, and you're beating the number 2 team in the nation.
They have no path.
They have to go to 8 teams from now on. This 4 teams is not enough. They really should do 16. Because think about it this way: what if Georgia was playing? Like, let's just say this is what it is. Georgia played Houston, Michigan played Iowa in the top 16. Then you have Cincinnati versus Utah. You got Alabama versus Oklahoma, BYU versus Oklahoma State, Notre Dame versus Michigan State, Iowa State versus Oregon, and Ole Miss versus Baylor. Tell me those games are not, like, that would be insane. And then they have a tournament?
BYU wouldn't be interesting. BYU would lose.
Well, okay. Well, BYU, that's probably one bad game of, like, out of all of them.
That's a lot of games, though, man.
Yeah, but then you give more teams opportunity. Now it's not even a question. Cincinnati's in. Georgia's in. Michigan's in. Alabama's in. Oklahoma State's in. Notre Dame's in. Ohio State's in.
Conclusion that Alabama's in, though.
Huh?
There's no football. Alabama's probably.
No, I'm saying if you had 16 teams, they're in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, everybody in the top 10 right now would be in. Michigan State would be in. Like, and they're still a pretty good football team. Like, now a team like Kenny Pickett's Pittsburgh, if they win, they're in. And then we get to see more of Kenny Pickett.
He has another game this week, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he plays Wake Forest, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Wake Forest, 15 versus 16. So the winner of that game gets in. But if Pittsburgh won, then they could get in the top 16, and now they're in the playoffs, and maybe Kenny Pickett could. Because, like, think about, like, the NCAA tournament in basketball. How many guys earn a name by showing up on the big stage of the playoffs, right? But now a guy like Kenny Pickett, I mean, yeah, he has a big stage against the Wake Forest game, and then of course you have a bowl game, but a lot of teams don't even take the bowl game seriously. Like, because some players don't even play. Like, Florida's Like, all the receivers didn't even play. I don't think Pitts played. I don't think Grimes played. I don't think Tony played. Like, Florida didn't take it seriously. But if you had a playoffs with Florida in it, now you get to see, okay, what does Kyle Trask do in a big tournament setting? Where we don't like him necessarily as, like, we don't think he's the most talented. But if he showed up in that situation,
he could boost his draft stock.
Yeah, like, that would have been huge. Like, if all of a sudden Florida won the championship out of a 16-man tournament because Alabama got upset in a weird way. I don't know. Like, I think it opens the door for a lot and a lot of excitement, a lot of following it. Now people are filling out brackets, like real bracket. Nobody cares about a 4-team bracket. But if you had a 16-team bracket, now that's a lot more interesting.
You're only playing what, 2 games?
Yeah, you only play 2 games. You have 2 games. You have 3 games to pick. Like, who cares if you get 3 games right in a row? That's nothing. But if you got 16 teams, and now that's what, 16 games, I think? 17 games? Like, now that gets more impressive if you pick all 17 of those right. And there's more to follow. There's a lot. I don't know. They need to expand the playoffs to at least 16. At least.
I'd say 8.
8 would be way better than 4.
It would.
Right? Because Notre Dame would be already in. Ohio State would already be in. Like, Baylor could earn their way in if they beat Oklahoma State. Iowa would definitely be in if they beat Michigan. You know, they could jump to 8 if they beat Michigan. But you're right. They can't jump to 4. Like, there's probably no way they could jump to 4. Yeah. Which is tough. But anyway. All right. I digress. It was fun. Any last things you want to say before we head out of here?
Rodgers lost his mind.
They had a team about...
Rodgers lost his mind.
Rodgers lost his mind?
That lets me know that you're not familiar with our team because we have one of the best defenses. So our defense is elite. Our quarterback is elite. I'll leave it at that.
I'm talking about Cincinnati. They'll see that they didn't belong. We'll see. Yeah, they do have a great secondary over there in Cincinnati. I don't know about their pass rush, but their secondary is really great.
Myjai Sanders, animal.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they don't. I just don't know about it. Is all I'm literally saying I don't know. But I know they have a great secondary, so we'll see. But I also agree though. Overall, I think that Cincinnati is going to struggle versus a team like Michigan or Alabama or UGA.
Watch us work.
Watch us work. Hey, I'm rooting for Ritter, though. I want him to go number 1 overall, so I'm rooting for him.
Watch us work.
All right, well, it was fun.
He's going to be the difference in these playoffs. That's all I'll say.
Fair enough. All right, well, thanks. It was fun, and thanks for everybody being here, of course. You got Jacob in the chat, Hassan's in the chat, Mato, Roger Smith. Who else is in here? Dr. Pig, of course. Yes, I'll be streaming Annie the musical tomorrow.
Dr. Pig, Mato, go sub to the other channel.
Jared Taylor in the chat.
Jared Taylor, go sub to the other channel. I know y'all haven't subbed because it tells me. Go sub to the other channel, please.
First link in the description. And Jared's gonna, Jeris is gonna be posting a bunch of stuff over there from this stream to get the shorter versions. So in the future, most of you guys that are still watching are gonna be watching the full show, which I really appreciate you guys. But if you're watching after the fact, if you just want to get the shorter versions, if you don't want to get all of our weekly predictions or other stuff, but you want to see some shorter versions of what do we think about J.D. McKissic's injury, what do we think about Riverboat Ron's passion, what do we think about different things like that. Your opportunity is there to go watch it on that channel where you can get more of a 5-minute take instead of a full hour-and-a-half long show. But it was fun, and thanks, Chris, and we're going to roll out of here, and until next time!